I decided to use chalkboard paint on the inside of a kitchen cabinet door. I used citrus strip to remove the paint on the inside of the cabinet door. When it comes to repainting furniture, you can often prep simply by scuff sanding the old coat of paint just to give it some texture for the new coat to grip. However, although it might be hard to tell, I noticed that the condition of the old paint wasn't great in some areas, so I decided to remove the old coat of paint entirely. I waited about 30 minutes for the citrus strip to do its job, then I went to work with a plastic scraper to remove the paint. The fact that I could easily remove the paint with this crappy plastic scraper tool speaks to how effective citrus strip is at dissolving paint. To remove the citrus strip residue and any remaining paint, I used mineral spirits and heavy-duty scrubbing pads. In hindsight, before this step, I could have just used citrus strip again to remove the second layer of paint that didn't come off completely the first time around, but mineral spirits seemed to be getting the job done. By the end, there were just a few stubborn areas of old paint left. You don't necessarily need to remove every bit of underlying paint, but rather just the paint that flakes off easily. Before priming, I applied painter's tape around the center panel of the cabinet door to prevent getting primer on and around it. I used Zinsser Prime Coat, a great water-based multi-purpose primer, for this project. For the sake of creating a perfectly smooth surface without any brush marks, I used a high-density foam roller to apply the primer. I used Krylon chalkboard paint for this project. Again, I used a roller to create a perfectly smooth chalkboard surface. The paint dried to the touch relatively quickly, but I waited 2 hours before applying the much needed second coat. It's good to wait at least 3 days for the chalkboard paint to cure before conditioning it. To condition your chalkboard paint, grip some chalk sideways and lightly rub the chalk across the entire chalkboard painted surface. If you write on your chalkboard paint without conditioning it first, it can be very difficult to erase that original writing. You might still see the faded trace of the initial writing no matter how much you try to erase it. Once I screwed the kitchen cabinet door back into place, my work was done. The cabinet door is now the perfect place for jotting down grocery lists and notes. Thanks for watching.